welcome TSP. I'm Dr. Evil.
This is Evil.
And we just wanted to quickly share our thoughts on this so not a controversy involving a professional athlete named Jonathan Owens, who is married to another professional athlete or Olympic athlete named Simone Biles. Now, we watched a video that was kind of talking about this. I've watched several different content creators talk about their view of this, but when I brought it to you, you had, your own take on this whole thing because you're a person that is really into Olympic level gymnastics. So
it's about the only time I'm watching sports regularly.
Right. And without like my insistence of any kind.
I willingly watch it and I'm looking out for the schedule.
Right. So for those that don't know, the two of them married each other. They found each other on a dating app that you can't download. Okay. And the dynamics of how they met and how their relationship grew is something that is generally atypical from most other relationships. So our relationship was kind of in a gray area as well. And so I thought that we could share our thoughts here on TSP. So you've basically seen Simone Biles since she first came up as an athlete. Like, what have you seen from her over the years?
I've seen that the woman is great. Like, very simple. Yeah. She is great. She's great at what she does. She's one of the best gymnasts out there. I'd probably say that she is the best gymnast ever up to this point. There are reasons why she has more than one move named after her. She does some hard shit, and it does not seem like she's backing down as far as what she can do or what she's trying to do in the next Olympics. Like, Simone Biles is great. I love gymnastics. And that doesn't mean the other women before her were bad. It's just right now, she's just fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's not like professional basketball players were bad before Michael Jordan. It's just that Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan.
Yeah, the level has gone up. And it's going to be great to see the other women who come after her.
Right.
Because she also brings up other female gymnasts along with her, She's not standing at the top of the mountain going, I'm the greatest one here and everyone else sucks. No, she's actually trying to bring up other gymnasts with her. So, well, I have no issues.
I'm not the most knowledgeable about her and her exploits, but I do remember some weird stories about how in one case, the judges gave her point deductions not because she did something improperly, but because they thought that what she was doing was too risky. They've tried to change the rules to curtail what she is able to do. Now, a lot of people don't want to touch the racial aspect of it, but for a lot of people in Black America, it was like, well, she's beating all your white girls. Yeah. And you guys don't like that very much. Right. So the thing is, I don't really pay too much attention. Gymnasts are just hot in athletics, so I look at them, and then I go about my business. But Simone Biles, for someone like myself who is not constantly inundated with my chosen profession every waking hour of the day, I've heard of her. I know who she is. Now, when it comes to Jonathan Owens is saying, hey, I did not know who she was before I met her.
And I'm like, let me see what this is. Gymnastics, I ain't never, I never really paid attention to gymnastics, so.
And a lot of people are calling him a liar, but there are a lot of people who are under a rock. I'll say, hey, have you heard of so-and-so who's like super famous? Yeah. And people say no. I'm like,
right? It happens with you and I too. You're like, oh, this story happened. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these people are.
Right, but it's like, these people are known by at least half of the humans on the entire globe. And, and definitely most of the people that have internet access. But when you listen to him tell, he's like, I didn't even know who she was. I don't pay attention to gymnastics. Right. The dude plays football. Mm-hmm. So when you think about what you need to do to become a professional football player, where you're basically just creating car crashes all day long, but then you have to study a playbook and you have to memorize all of these fucking algorithms. It's like football is like a bunch of algorithms. It's like algorithms, 3D algorithms in meat space. He has to learn all of the coding for his, chosen software. He has to go out there and physically perform all the stuff that he memorized. That's pretty much what his entire life is. So when he says, I didn't know who she was, I believe it. But here's the thing that I find even more encouraging for me when I look at it, when he says, I don't know who she was.
Okay.
There are a lot of guys that I have met in my life that have struggled and will struggle in their dating life because they are meeting women who know who they are. And when you listen to Simone talk about, she went on the Raya app and was swiping through and then saw a man she was attracted to. The way that I interpreted it, she didn't know who he was specifically either. And from what I understand, I don't watch the league anymore.
Right. And we didn't see the whole podcast, so correct us with any details where we might be incorrect. But yes,
but
more than we think that she did not know who he was.
It looked to me like she found the type of guy that she is naturally attracted to and instantly tried to match with him, right? Now, when he found out that she tried to match with him, it was just kind of like, oh, well, she's not ugly. She's not ugly, right? So it's like, all right, let me go check to see if she's real. Okay, she's got a bunch of followers, so she must be, top tier at something.
Right.
I swiped her and it said we matched. So I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna see what's up. So I go do my workout and I come back and I get I had some likes on my Instagram, and I'm like,
right? I just look at it like those situations have a much better chance of lasting if the person does not know that everybody else loves you and admires you. From the male side of things, and like I said, I've worked with people in my profession and I've been social with friends, acquaintances with guys who are very wealthy or are very well known. And the thing is that these guys have a really difficult time trying to date because, for instance, like Louis Rossman is a pretty, has been a friend of mine for going on 6 years. And I did not know who he was when I met him.
Feels like longer.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been a long time. But the thing is that he went to date a woman who did not know who he was, and she kind of didn't treat him very well. But then when she found out who he was, all of a sudden,
Suddenly changed up her tune.
Yeah, she changed up her tune. And the thing is, as a man, it's like, we know that we have to accomplish things and we have to be productive in order for women to even acknowledge our existence on planet Earth. We get that. But there's something beyond that is just unsavory, where even the most physically attractive woman starts to look ugly when it's kind of like all about how much clout you have or how much money you have.
Yeah.
So people are making him look like an asshole for not knowing who she was, when that is probably more of a feather in his cap, because these people, especially these bitter ass single women, they look at her from the public facing standpoint. She is not Simone Biles, the Olympian, at home. She is Simone Biles, the wife.
I also feel like it's you can't find any faults, so you're making one up. Because I'm not going to fault the guy for not knowing who she was. He didn't know who she was. In that moment, you can't automatically insert the knowledge in his brain and say you must know exactly who she is as soon as you see her photo. There is no issue, and they're trying to insert one where there isn't.
And you can make the case.
So it's It's stupid.
You can make the case that if he was an avid gymnastics fan, they would say that he's some sort of sexual predator. Right? Because no matter what you do,
They would look for something.
they're going to look for something. But obviously him not knowing who she wasn't their only ire. They had a problem with him saying, well, she actually pursued him, which I think is really interesting.
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man.
Now, women understand in the dating landscape that they have the leverage. They claim to be oppressed all the time, but they get a lot of special treatment in a lot of areas of society for a group of people that are really oppressed.
Right.
Now, he's like, listen, I had no interest in dating her or any woman.
He was focused on his career.
Not just that.
Yeah.
He said, listen, I'm 23 years old. I am rich. I am in a league that basically makes black men instantly famous. I've got millions of dollars. I'm a professional athlete in this league. I did not want to be married to any woman. And, you know, in the interview, he's kind of like insinuating like, I want to fuck bitches. I wanted to go out there and do my thing. But she stepped up and then changed my focus from going out there and popping bottles every weekend and taking a different chick home to now I can see myself settling down a lot earlier than I intended. And
she looked very proud in that moment.
Yeah.
When she, you know, for the people who are upset that he calls himself the catch.
I always say we the men the catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
But she didn't sound smug or uppity about it.
Yeah.
I thought I was the catch. You know,
Yeah.
she didn't sound like a douche. And then they pan over to her, and you see the look on her
Yeah.
face.
she's not offended.
And her reaction isn't like, oh, you think you're the catch? Like I was just telling
Yeah.
you before we started doing this recording, I bet that they probably joke around about that in the house.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't know what the humor and dynamic is among a couple. You and I will joke around about stuff that other people might be like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yep.
That's our brand of humor. But her face doesn't change at all. You see the look in her eyes is that of love. She looks happy.
Yep.
She's basically like, yes, you are a catch. You are my catch.
Yeah. Yep.
My catch.
And when we did the Google search to find the podcast that they did this interview on, they, you know, everything that's coming up is they argue about who's the better athlete. They're not bothered by none of this shit.
No.
Right?
And we're going to use the term argue loosely.
Yeah.
I bet that they don't mean...
It's really
just
like a
go in
friendly debate. It's like what me and Captain Paul, you know, calling each other racist all the time.
Yeah, well, you have two athletes, two people who compete for a living.
Right. Yeah.
Not a little healthy, joking competition.
Right.
I'm a better athlete. No, I'm a better athlete. Well, can
Yeah.
you do a handstand?
Yeah,
Can you do this?
Right.
And she's tiny as fuck and he's tall as
Yep.
fuck. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's
And
probably hilarious.
Yeah.
find this
yeah, I
hilarious.
mean, that's how and but the thing is when I was thinking about the athlete thing,
Yeah.
even before I did the Google search on the two of them. And this is where women are they're so salty. And you don't hear too many married women talking shit. It's a bunch of single women. Simone Biles is built different than other women. There are gymnasts who do what the routines that their coach tells them to do. Simone Biles is out there in the lab mixing up fucking chemicals like a fucking a fucking evil genius in the lab.
Evil genius, yeah.
Right? And she's like trying to defy the laws of gravity, like, oh, you think my limit is this? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
She's aggressively great at
Ever watch
her
those
craft.
breakdowns of her moves and her doing those flips in the air, and it's
No,
like, how the
that's all
fuck
you.
did you get the power to change or pivot the movement in the air? It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
So it would stand to reason that somebody who is as aggressively great at what she does would go out there and apply the same thing that makes her successful in her profession in her private life. She said, that is the type of guy that I want. And she said it in the interview. I know what I want and I know what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I was
messed
so
with me.
scared.
She messed with. She wasn't scared. She wasn't scared. I
See,
give her that.
I know what I like and I know what I want.
She went out there and did in her love life the same thing she did, and she is benefiting from it. And the thing that I tell you guys here on TSP, and all you salty women, you can get in line and cry about it right now. You can cry right now, okay? Guys.
Kleenex.
Oh yeah, we got, no, we don't do Kleenex here.
I'm sorry.
We do the Puff Plus with lotion here, okay? Yeah, you know, the best tissues on the market, okay?
I got a tissue for you.
You can deposit your salty ass tears right in that Puffs Plus with lotion right now. We tell men on this platform, if you're not a woman's lottery pick, do not even recognize her existence past whatever she does professionally. She's a professional doing her job unless she views you as her top pick. Now, I've been a guy that despite my height and despite my intelligence or whatever, I struggled a lot socially growing up, so I did not really register on the radars of any of the girls. But when I got a little bit more tolerable as a human being, right? When I met her, I didn't pursue her super hard, but I just kind of let it know, hey, I'm interested. You know, you kind of figure it out if you're interested. And then I allowed her to kind of respond in her own way. Now, if you look at our relationship is structured differently than it would be if I was just the simp that was chasing her. In fact, most women leave relationships. We heard this whole thing, Abin Preacher talking about how women always think that the relationship can only work if the man is more invested in a relationship than the woman. Well, if that is the case, then why are 80% of relationships always ended by the women? The relationships don't work that way. The woman has to be invested because most guys are not interested in leaving their relationships. So when I look at Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles, as long as she, and the thing is, you know, it's completely organic, the way you see the way this
Instagram, you know, and I'm like,
come on, you know that look,
Yeah.
right? I've gotten that look from you in the past, a long time ago. No, I'm just kidding, right? But the thing is that he did his job by foregoing all of his years as a qualified bachelor. He forewent all of those to commit to her. It wasn't like Simone Biles asked him to marry her. It wasn't like that. It was, I'm not afraid to message first on the dating app, and we're going to talk about this in future videos. But she was not afraid to message first on the app. She was not afraid to swipe right first. And
she said she knows what she wants.
Right. And the thing is,
afraid to go after it.
If she did not do that, they would not be together. And so he's just speaking the truth. Like, yo, she drove 45 minutes to come see me.
She came through down to Houston. She lived in the suburbs, so she had to drive about 45 minutes to me.
Why? Because he had the leverage. And women are mad when they don't have the advantage, yet they claim to be oppressed all the time. And they're whining and crying because she drove the 45 miles to go see the man she wanted to go see. How many times did you go above and beyond for me in the beginning?
Yep.
17, almost 18 years later, she's still here. Why? Because she wanted to be here.
We're past the halfway mark.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, past 17 and a half.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. Past
that-
17.
that's
So April's coming up in 3 months. Yeah. I mean, it is the end of the year. Yeah. Yeah, right? But the thing is that, you know, guys, when you are in situations where women think that they can do better than you, the hypergamy monkey branching nature is going to invoke more often than not. She's going to then go look for guys that she thinks are better than you, unless she actually thinks that you're the best guy for her. And that's why, guys, you know, you hear about the whole Cheesecake Factory garbage and nonsense. Oh, I'm not going on coffee dates and all this. She drove 45 minutes to his house. She didn't require Ruth's Chris, and they got millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Right? Right? Like, and the thing is, all of these women talking about the Cheesecake Factory and Ruth's Chris and all of these, you know, you better buy me this and buy me that. Where y'all at? Single and salty. Where's Simone Biles at? To a man that if any of those women saw him and he paid them any attention, they'd be jumping right in his fucking face. Mm-hmm. And we've seen women do it over and over and over again to try to get close to the Leonardo DiCaprios of the world. Mm. Now, I'm not saying that Jonathan Owens is on the level of Leonardo DiCaprio, but he's her Leo.
Yes.
So let her do her. I don't understand it.
Let her be happy. Also, it's none of your business. It's none of our business. It's nobody's business.
But they want to tell her to break up her home. Because he told the truth about the fact that she pursued him. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a red flag.
They would look for anything to be a red flag.
Because they fucking miserable and salty.
Is the fact that you massage my knee a red flag?
Yeah, I show the hatred. I show the hatred that I have for this woman. With, you know, after she comes home from running, you know, I massage that knee. You know what I'm saying? Massage noir. I heard somebody say, like, what the fuck is that?
Oh my God.
Right?
So anyway, the point is.
And the thing is,
leave them alone.
Relationships have their ups and downs. We've had our ups and downs. Mm-hmm. But, and the guy, I gotta tell you this. Because men, by and large, are not the first ones thinking about leaving the relationship. Mm-hmm. And there's plenty of statistics to bear that out. Guys, it doesn't matter how much Ruth's Chris steak you buy for her, or how big the diamond is, or how many months of your salary you spent on your engagement ring. I think the engagement ring I got for you was under $200. But guess what she didn't lose?
I didn't lose the wedding ring.
Right? I'm also still sitting here. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like...
I am disappointed that it was a pretty engagement ring.
Yeah. I mean, I did the best that I could with what I had, which wasn't much.
It was a style that I liked.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, also, she's a person that works. She didn't want some fucking tall-ass thing. No. Like, you know, she didn't want a whole lot going on there because...
I'm also accident prone.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you almost made me accident prone.
It's not in my ear.
Well, it ended up in the palm of my hand.
Last night?
A few days
but it
ago.
happened again. It's not in... I'm just going to leave it out.
Well...
Anyway.
I was almost looking like Jesus on the cross.
I have a piercing that keeps falling off because I forget to put the ball back, and then it comes off while I'm sleeping and then ends up in the palm of his hand.
Well, that was the only time it happened. But I'm saying that. But I'm just saying, right?
Is that a red flag?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Earring is
or the fact that I mentioned it out in public, you know, embarrasses you, so you should leave me.
I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah. You know, and, you know, it again, you know, there was a great guy who once interviewed thousands of women on their own accord, voluntarily, went to his platform. He shall not be named for the salties. Single women keep women single. Mm. And that's really what it boils down to, y'all. They want Simone Biles to be a strong, independent woman that don't need no man so that they can prove that the decisions that they made to be unmarriageable and just plain insufferable. And they wear that as on their sleeve as this symbol of strength. You know, I'm strong because nobody wants to deal with me, right? They want to project that onto her so that she can stay miserable and single along with him. And the thing is, all the backlash that came, her response is, don't give a fuck.
Again, none of anyone's business. Like, but they're athletes, so people are just going to talk about it anyway.
Right. Which they have the right to do.
Right. But it just...
But you know what they don't have the right to do? Tell another woman how she should break up her happy home.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a happy home themselves. They own their own house, and they have their own car, and they own their own business. Miserable as fuck.
Yeah. Well, we'll show the little clip if we didn't already up to this point.
Yeah. It's just...
And you guys can be the judge.
Instagram, you know, and I'm like,
Do you agree or not agree? She looked pretty fucking happy
Yeah.
in the clip.
And they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about how happy she is to be with him.
It didn't appear to be a performance, you know, because, you know, you might have some celebrities that are just appearing to be happy for the sake of public image.
Yeah.
You know, which is...
They were real and they were raw with it.
It seemed very, very... She was a happy fucking woman in that clip.
Yeah, and the thing is, it you know, one of the saddest
And it
parts...
should be infectious to see someone else's happiness, no? No?
That was a loaded statement. That was a loaded statement. How many times have people asked about our relationship and the way that we've gone about it, and then we say, well, we're happy and it's gone like this, and the first thing out of their mouth is, well, I could never.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they don't even think, like, whoa, maybe there's something that works well that keeps them happy together and functional together, because those are two different things. Happy together and functional together.
Or I'm happy that you're happy.
Right.
Seeing your joy brings me joy.
Right. Exactly that, right?
Yeah.
But it was actually weird. I saw a study that was broken down in an article I read a couple years ago, which said that women, when they are shown a bunch of photos of men, and men shown a bunch of photos of women, men find women more attractive that are happy, and women find men attractive who are more unhappy. Like, what the hell is that? And when you look at this whole Owens and Biles thing, and the thing is, if their relationship ends up not lasting, they're going to point to that.
Yeah.
They're not going to look at the actual issues that could have been in their relationship. They're going to point to the fact, well, she went and talked to him first. That's why it didn't work. When you have all of this prior art of relationships that women left after the man pursued them, right? It's kind of like with the whole thing with Jonathan Majors. We saw that the comedian that does the 5150 show, Corey Holcomb, and he had the black female comedian on there talking about the whole thing with Jonathan Majors.
Am I a bad person for not knowing who you're talking about?
No, but you were like watching when
maybe I have to see his face again.
But she was saying that a black woman would have never done to Jonathan Majors what that Grace Jabari did to Jonathan Majors, basically ruining his career.
Right.
And the first thing I thought was, and I've seen other content creators kind of point this out, situation after situation where a black woman is trying to destroy the public image of the man that they're either dating, have dated, or married to. Looking at you, Jada Pinkett Smith. Right? Like this, so, well, a black woman would have never done him like that. Oh, really? So, again, guys, the moral of the story is, if the woman doesn't look at you the way Simone Biles looks at her husband, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Don't do the simping thing. Don't try to buy the biggest ring and the biggest house and the shiniest car and the Birkenest bag. Don't. If she's not legitimately into you, then you should hold out until you find a woman who, even if you do pursue her, she values you enough to have pursued you if necessary. I'm tired of all of this. We're the victims, but we have this entitlement and expectation to have the advantage in everything. Which one is it?
C, all of the above.
Anyway, guys, want your opinions on this whole thing. Do you think that Simone Biles should be a strong, independent woman that don't need no man? Or do you think that she should be married to the man that she chose to marry, and who she seems to be, plenty satisfied with her decision?
She does.
Do you think Mrs. Evil should leave me because I revealed that the back of her piercing almost went through the middle of my hand? Do you think that I'm Jesus Christ now?
In the bed.
Yep. So if something pokes me in the middle of the night, you guys heard it here first. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one.
You know what? In a couple years, nobody is going to call him Simone Biles' husband. They'll call me Jonathan Owens' wife.